Good morning. Welcome to Breakfast with Louise Minchin and Dan Walker.
Our headlines for you at 8 o'clock. A row over COVID vaccine supplies as the EU threatens controls on exports from Europe. But the vaccine minister tells Breakfast there's no cause for concern.
I'm very confident with the team. We talk to them all the time. They're confident they will deliver for us, yes.
Going nowhere. Decision expected today on hotel quarantine for British citizens returning home.
Unemployment hits 5%. Good morning. 1.72 million people are out of work in the 3 months to the end of November. Experts say many more will follow.
Thomas Tuchel is set to be named as Chelsea's new boss. The former PSG and Dortmund coach is being lined up to replace Frank Lampard at Stamford Bridge.
What's your underpants of choice?
Just like boxer briefs.
Boxer?
Yeah.
We'll see which ones you'd go for, right? Anyone go for those?
And comedian Rod Gilbert tells us about his mission to get men to open up about infertility.
Good morning. It's a cold start to the day once again with the risk of ice on untreated surfaces. Rain coming in from the west will engage with cold air further north and deposit some snow, but then milder conditions follow on behind. I'll have all the details later in the programme.
Good morning to you. Tuesday, the 26th of January. In the last half an hour, the vaccine minister, Nadhim Zahawi, has said he's confident the UK will get its full supply of coronavirus vaccine after the EU warned it would tighten exports of doses.
Let's get a bit more on this now from our chief political correspondent, Adam Fleming. Adam, morning to you. I suppose it's quite interesting, isn't it, the whole background to this as well and what is going on in various countries across Europe.
Yeah, so the reason this is happening is that the vaccine rollout in the EU is going much more slowly than they would like. They also think that AstraZeneca is going to give them far fewer doses over the next few weeks and months than they were expecting. So there's been a series of quite bad-tempered phone calls between the European Commission, who've been buying all the vaccines, and the drug company. And one of the spin-offs of that is that the EU is thinking about getting European vaccine manufacturers to have to report when they're going to send vaccines out of the EU and they're going to export them abroad. Now, that wouldn't affect the UK supply of the AstraZeneca vaccine because that's made in Oxfordshire and Staffordshire and North Wales. Where it could affect the UK, though, is supplies of the Pfizer vaccine because they're made at a factory in Belgium. But the vaccines minister, Nadhim Zahawi, said we should all relax because this probably isn't going to be a problem.
I'm very confident with the team. We talk to them all the time. They're confident they will deliver for us, yes. And AstraZeneca, the bulk of AstraZeneca Oxford is manufactured in the UK because we made that early investment in manufacturing capacity in the UK, which is also good news. So I'm confident we'll meet our mid-February target and then we'll keep vaccinating beyond that as we vaccinate the whole of the adult population or those who will accept a vaccine by the autumn.
Also, if you read what the EU is saying carefully, which you know I like to do, they're talking about firms reporting what they're doing with their exports. That's not the same as saying they have to get permission before those exports happen. So this might end up being a bit more of a sort of speed bump rather than a roadblock.
Very interesting to hear. Adam, thank you for that. We know you love your European detail.
Details is what you need. Thank you. New travel restrictions are expected to be announced, which will require some travellers coming to England to quarantine in hotels when they arrive.
The Prime Minister is due to discuss the plans with ministers later. The new measures are likely to apply to UK residents arriving from high-risk countries like South Africa. This comes amid concerns about new coronavirus variants.
The unemployment rate in the UK has risen to 5% for the first time in nearly half a decade. Nina has lots more details on this for us. Morning.
Yes, good morning. These are the figures for the 3 months to the end of November. Now, we learned today that in that period, unemployment, as Louise said, hit 5%. Now, that translates to 1.72 million people out of work. What about benefits claimants? Well, that went up to 2.6 million. Keep in mind that before the pandemic, that was at 1.2 million. And this was quite an interesting period, if you think back. A mixed picture. The tier systems then went into a national lockdown in November. But there's also the development of the vaccine, the extension of the furlough and hope of a normalish Christmas gave some space for optimism. But then came a rise in the R number and a national lockdown. And experts are saying that things will get worse worse before they get better, of course, because of the furlough scheme masking the reality of jobs that will go. And interesting, Dan and Louise, looking at these numbers, so redundancies for that period was 14 for every 1,000 jobs. That doesn't mean anything in itself, but compare it to the peak of the global financial crisis. That peaked at 12 in every 1,000, so it's already higher than it was then. And the age of people who are being made redundant has gone up. Up until now, it was largely under 25s. It's gone up to those who are under 35. So traditionally, more stable jobs are going.
Nina, thank you.
See the headlines as they happen and watch BBC News live in the app and get the full story with bbc.co.uk/news. Follow the story for all the latest with BBC News.